या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. Namaste. My name is Reena Rehalia. I am an integrated medicine expert and a meditation trainer. Welcome to the stories of Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. The description of Prakriti. Sri Narayana said, this highest Prakriti is recognized as fivefold. When she is engaged in the work of creation, she appears as number 1, Durga, the mother of Ganesha, number 2, Radha, number 3, Lakshmi, number 4, Saraswati, and number 5, Savitri. Then Narada replied, O thou, the best of the Jananis, who is this Prakriti, whether she is of the nature of intelligence or of matter? Why did she manifest herself? And then again, why did she reveal herself in these 5 forms? And what are her characteristics? Now, thou oughtest to describe the lives of all, different modes of their worship, and the fruits that are accrued thereby. Please also inform me which forms of them manifested themselves in which different places. Dost thou please narrate to me all these? Narayana said, O child, who is there in this world that can describe fully the characteristics of Prakriti? However, I will describe to you that much which I heard from my own father, Dharma. Here the prefix para in the word of Prakriti means exalted, superior, excellent, and the affix kriti denotes creation. So, goddess, the Devi, who is the most excellent in the work of creation, is known as Devi Prakriti. To come closer, para signifies the Sattva Guna, the most exalted quality. Kra denotes the Rajoguna, is considered intermediate as it has this defect, that it spreads a veil over the reality of the things so as not to allow men to understand the true reality, while the Tamoguna is considered worst as it is completely hides the real knowledge. So, when this intelligence of the nature of the Brahma beyond the 3 attributes gets tinged by the above 3 gunas and becomes omnipotent, then she is superior, pradhana, in the work of the creation. Hence, she is styled as Prakriti. O child Narada, the state just preceding that the creation is denoted by para and kra signifies creation. So, the great Devi has existed before creation is called Prakriti. After creation, the Paramatma, by his yoga, that is Maya Shakti, the Holy Ghost, divided himself into 2 parts, the right side of which was male and the left side of was the female. Prakriti. Note, the Holy Ghost is the principle of conception and emanation, creation. So, the Prakriti is of the nature of the Brahma. She is eternal as the fire. Its burning power are not different. So, there is no separate distinction between Atma and his Shakti, between Purusha and Prakriti. Therefore, those that are the foremost and the highest of the yogis do not recognize any difference between the male and a female. All is Brahman. He is everywhere as male and female forever. There is nothing in this world that can exist for a moment even without this Brahman, consisting of male and female. That is, they are Brahman with Maya manifested. out of the will of the Sri Krishna to create the world, whose will is all in all, came out at once the Moola Prakriti, the great Devi, Ishwari, the lady controller of the universe. Brahma, with Maya in a state of equilibriums, by her command came out 5 forms from her, either for the purpose of creation or for bestowing favor and grace to the bhaktas, devotees. Durga, the mother of Ganesha, comes as the first, the foremost, auspicious, loved by Shiva. She is Narayani, Vishnu Maya, and of the nature of the Purna Brahma, the Supreme Brahma. This eternal, all auspicious Devi is the presiding deity of all the Devas and is therefore worshipped and praised by Brahma and other Devas, Munis, and Manus. This Bhagavati Durga Devi, when she gets pleased, destroys all the sorrows, pains, and troubles of the bhaktas that have taken her refuge and gives them dharma, everlasting name and fame, all auspicious things and bliss, and all the happiness, the final liberation. She is the greatest refuge of these bhaktas that come to her wholly for protection and are in great distress, whom she saves from all their dangers and calamities. In fact, know this Durga Devi as verily the presiding deity of the heart of the Krishna and as this highest Shakti of the nature of the holy fire and the holy light. She is omnipotent and resides always with Krishna, the great God. She is worshipped by all Siddha Purushas, those that have attained success. The 18 Siddhis all go to her, and when pleased, she gives whatever Siddhis, success that her bhaktas want. This great Devi is the intelligence, sleep, hunger, thirst, shadow, drowsiness, fatigue, kindness, memory, caste, errors, peace, beauty, and consciousness, contentment, nourishment, prosperity, and fortitude. She is sung in Vedas and in other Shastras as Mahamaya, of the nature of the in reality universe. She is the all Shakti of the universe and she is the Shakti of Krishna. All these qualities are also mentioned in the Vedas. What is mentioned here is a
1/10.
merely in the comparison to that of the Vedas. She has infinite qualities. Now hear of other Shaktis. The second Shakti of the Paramatma is named Padma, Lakshmi. She is of the nature of Shuddha Sattva, higher than the Sattva Guna, and is Krishna's presiding deity of all wealth and prosperity. This is very beautiful. Lakshmi Devi is the complete master of senses. She is of the very peaceful temper, of good mood, and all auspiciousness. She is free from greed, delusion, lust, anger, vanity, and egoism. She is devoted to her husband and to her bhaktas. Her words are very sweet and she is very dear to her husband. Indeed, the life and the soul of him. This Devi is residing in the all the grains and the vegetables, and so she is the source of life of all the beings. She is residing in Vaikuntha as Mahalakshmi and always in the service of her husband. She is the heavenly Lakshmi residing in the heavens, and the royal Lakshmi in the palaces, and the Graha Lakshmi in the several families of the several householders. O Narada, all the lovely beauty that you see in all the living beings and all the things, it is she. She is the glory and the fame of those that have done good and pious works, and it is she that is progress of the powerful kings. She is the trade of merchants, the mercy of saints, engaged in doing good to others, and the seed of dissensions in those sinful and vicious persons as approved in the Vedas. She is worshipped by all. Now, I will describe to you about the third Shakti of the great God, who is the presiding deity of the knowledge, speech, intelligence, and learning. This third Shakti is named Saraswati. She is all the learning of this endless universe, and she resides as Medha, intelligence, in the hearts of all human beings. She is the memory, she is the poetry, she is the great wit, light, splendor, the inventive genius. She gives the power to understand the real meaning of the various difficult Siddhanta works. She explains and makes us understand difficult passages, and she is remover of all the doubts and difficulties. She acts as when we write books, when we argue and judge, when we sing songs of the music. She is the time or the measure in the music. She holds balance and union in vocal and instrumental music. She is the goddess of the speech. She is presiding deity in the knowledge of the various subjects, in argumentations and disputations. In fact, all the beings earn their livelihood by taking recourse to her. She is peaceful and hold in her hands veena and books. Her nature is purely sattvic, Shuddha Sattva, modest and very loving to Sri Hari. Her color is white like ice-clad mountains, like that of the white sandal, like that of kunda flower, like that of the moon, the white lotus. Her nature is ascetic. She is the bestower of the fruits of asceticism, of the ascetics. She is the Siddhi and Vidya of all. She grants always success to all. Where she is not here, the whole host of Brahmins would always remain speechless, like the dead cluster of persons. What is recited in the Vedas as the third Devi is the holy word. The third Shakti, Saraswati. Thus I have described her. Now, hear the glories of the other Devis in accordance with the Vedas. She is the mother of the four colors, castes, the origin of the six Vedangas, the limbs of the Vedas, and all the chandas, the seed of the mantras, of the Sandhya Vandanam, and the root, the seed of the tantras. She herself is versed in all the subjects, herself an ascetic. She is the tapas of Brahmins. She is the tejas, fire, the caste of Brahmins, and embodies in herself all sorts of samskaras, tendencies, inclinations. She is the japam, pure known by the names of the Savitri and Gayatri. She resides always in the Brahmaloka, the sphere of Brahma, and Savitri and Gayatri. She resides always in the Brahmaloka, the sphere of Brahma, and in such as all the sacred places of the pilgrimages want her touch for their purification. Her color is perfectly white, like the pure crystal. She is purely Shuddha Sattva, of the nature of the highest bliss. She is the eternal and superior to all. She is the nature of the Parabrahma and is the bestower of moksha. She is the fiery Shakti and the presiding deity of the Brahma, Teja, the fiery spirit of Brahma and Brahmanas. The whole world is purified by the touch of the whose feet. This Savitri Devi is the fourth Shakti. O child Narda, now I will describe to you about the fifth Shakti, the Devi Radhika. Here, she is the presiding deity of the five pranas. She herself is the life of all, dearer than life, even to Shri Krishna. And she is the highly more beautiful and superior to all other Prakriti Devis. She dwells in everything. She is very proud of her good fortune, Sobhagyam. Her glory is infinite, and she is the wife, the left body, as it were, Sri Krishna, and she is not in any way inferior to him, either in quality or in the Tejas, the fiery spirit, or in any other thing. She is the highest, then the highest, the essence of all, infinitely superior, the first of all, eternal, of the nature of the highest bliss, fortunate, highly respected and worshipped by all. She is the presiding Devi of Rasa Leela of Sri Krishna. From her has sprung the Rasa Mandalam, and she is the grace and the ornament of the Rasa Mandalam, the dance in the circle in Ras.